Alright. Alrighty, we got this lined up to the 8 mark. Basically, in order to do that, just take a 22, put it on the crank, and turn the crank over. And then you have to take this bolt out down here, and then line this up in here to, you should check 13 apparently, and 8. That's the 8 mark, which is like this fat, stubby mark. So we're lined up to 8, which means we should be good to go to pull this pump out. I guess we'll start with these lines up here, which is the 17 and 19. We'll just record them. Basically, 17 into here. I've pre-loosened some of these. This one, of course, is by far the most exciting one to get, because your hands, nothing fits in there, so that's fun. We'll go ahead and loosen these up. You need one of those ratcheting open ends. Does that exist yet? If not, someone needs to make that. That'd be great. These are probably gonna piss fuel everywhere, actually. That would have been a good idea to get a napkin down here. At least when you open it, it'll catch the fuel. Can't see what I'm doing, I'm spinning a nut off the thing. Just, God forbid you had any room in there. Okay. Oh God, that hurt. We'll just go in line here. It's a little bit easier. As you see, the fuel's already coming out. We're gonna need a napkin. We'll get back when we found a rag. We are gonna continue loosening this, or trying to loosen this anyway. As extremely poorly as this is going. Hi, welcome to That's Not Right Garage. Or maybe we should call it the Why Me? The Why Me Garage. That'd be fun. Or we could just call it Everything's Broken. You also just call it Sure. It's an inside joke, of course. People are not going to know, as there's a following before this following. Don't mind that diesel train in the background. It's fine. Everything's fine. Now for number 2, in our windstorm environment next to train tracks. Hell of an environment. Suppose it's better than some. You gotta take what you can get. Some people rebuild the engine on the side of the road in India or in Africa. We're rebuilding the engine on the side of train tracks. All right, that's our next line. All right, let's get number 3, or this is number 2 technically. Okay. As you may or may not be able to see, don't really know what you guys can see. This is leaking a little bit, that's fine. Get the rest of that off. Get the diesel out. Okay. All right, we got another one here. This is feed for cylinder 1. All right, so a little background. What the hell was happening? Basically, 1, 2, 3, fire no problem out of this pump. Number 4 was like it's barely spitting out. Truck has 96,000 miles on it. Sat for 8 years. Obviously, that's part of the problem. We've tried clearing this out with all types of different chemicals, diesel cleans, all that fun stuff, but nothing seemed to solve the problem, so we're just pulling the pump at this point. It's been like a week, or actually just kidding, it's been like 3 weeks trying to figure this out, so we're just pulling the pump at this point. We're gonna have to pull this fuel housing here, I believe. We got some funkiness going in and down in here, some funkiness in here. Obviously this bolt's missing. We'll probably take this bolt off too, so we can get these lines out. Also, bro tip for life, just label this, because God only knows what that's going to be later. We'll call this the fuel line support bolt. Right side. Right bolt. Green rubber thing. Okay. Let that dry. Put that in there. And, put that in with your other parts. Alrighty. What do we got? 17 on this. This is probably gonna piss fuel everywhere. I would expect that to happen. As you can see, the rubber grommet is just completely disintegrating. That's to be expected, I guess, with anything in life. Prepare for it to just spontaneously decompose. Deteriorate at a rapid rate. That's par for the course. Okay. We have our line out. That looks really, that looks great. We're gonna do the right thing and pretend that that's fine. Take this line out. Be careful. There might be some other gremlins. Right. Yeah, pretty much. That's just gonna disintegrate. Yay! All right, bag this up. Oh, you can get this off too. You can probably let that live with the other bolt. Do you come off? You do not. Does the rubber come out? Probably. I think you kind of just disintegrate, to be honest. Oh, there you go. Alright, cool. This shenanigans can live together with that bolt that held it there. And this can get bagged up. This will be our next one. Of course, that doesn't really feel like it wants to go anywhere. Take this little extension. Remember, the more extensions you have, the less power you have with the ratchet. It's our homemade version of an impact gun. It's called your right hand. That looks like it's got all kinds of exciting washers and stuff. All kinds of fun stuff spinning around. That's gonna go ejecto-cedo the second you pull this bolt out. Yep. I see you. So help me God. Alright, thank you. Let's take a look at that bolt. This is gonna be the green inlet, we'll call that, for our own sanity. And then we'll work on getting those out in a second. Alright, next thing I believe we're going to do is try to get this fuel filter housing off. Right. Okay. Okay. And this is a 14. Sure, why not? Try not to drop this because it'll be full of fuel, which will be very exciting. We have our little, yes we do, mason jar, most underrated accessory, catching the strangest of liquids. The windstorm's picking up again, which is exciting. That's very tight all of a sudden. That's what you want. Okay. Looks like that'll stay on the rungs, which will be fantastic. Don't need that. Take this guy, take this guy. Try not to spill diesel everywhere, that'll be great. And then we'll just, here you go. Yay. Debating on whether removing that is really necessary or not. It's probably not. Can probably just spin these back down on here. We'll see if we regret that decision later or not. Don't really know. Just Don't want them to get lost. All right. Oh boy. Really plastic that's probably just gonna break the second I touch it. We'll need to believe in the heart of the cards. Get rid of that. Don't necessarily know what is keeping this on. It looks like this bracket. What do these hoses go to? Some godforsaken thing. Alright, next thing we did is I pried this up and popped that out. That's the fuel shutoff that shuts the fuel off on the pump. Get that out of the way. The next thing we will have to figure out too is, I don't know if y'all can see that in there, there's like this little dingus. That'll have to get snaked out one way or another. This is the throttle. Okay. Yeah, I believe that's the throttle. So of course that'll somehow have to you come out, please. Yes. Okay. You will come out. And it looks like you pop out of there. Some terrible, I don't know if y'all can see, but some terrible thing. This is going to be the, we'll call this the upper throttle cable. I don't think it matters which way it goes. Let's get this in a safe spot. I guess you can come with me on this one. Try to cut this out just because it's so much time in the video. But it what it is. Label the crap. We'll call this upper throttle cable. Directional, doesn't matter. We're gonna try to take this line off now. Oh God! All right. As you can see, it looks like there's like 20 washers in there. Try not to lose any, obviously. Of course, this is gonna piss fuel everywhere. Yay! Try to take this out as one entity. Let's see if that happens or not. You have a lot of diesel coming out of you. I'm not trying to do that. Have to put a towel on the ground. Anyway, that's our line. I don't even want to take that out. Those rubber O-rings are just going to decompose. How's the bolt look? I'll let it spin on these threads. It looks pretty clean. So we'll let that sit like that. Next thing, have to get this off magically somehow. I do not know if this has to come out and then this. We might have to do that just for safety's sake to get that out. All right, it looks like this is a 14. Okay. What the Christ? I don't really understand what this bolt does, but we'll call this the inner bolt return. Alrighty. This looks like it's a 7/8 to do that. Of course, more diesel will probably go everywhere. Alright. Oh, of course there's probably a washer behind there. Oh, Jesus. Sure. Okay. Why not? That's dangerous. Of course, there was a little rubber O-ring behind there, and this is like disintegrated. Sure. Alright. And then the lines that go from the tank, I guess, will have to be removed. We'll see how far we can. See if we have to get those off or not. These lines down here, royal pain in the butt. I had to go from the bottom, slide these off, and then yank these off. And then in there, I don't know if you can see that. Right there. There's a nut or a bolt. It's like a 10 mil. Loosen that enough just to snake these lines out. And yay, it's one of these. And then we'll have to figure out how to get the other one out in a second. Alright, so the next thing, I guess we're going to try to unbolt this thing in here, which looks like the inlet for the fuel. 19 fits, could be 18. Let's try 18. Of course, this camera's like 9,000 pounds, so it keeps shifting around, of course. $18 looks like it. I think we're just gonna cheat, get a bunch of extensions on there, get that off. All right, so get your wobbles or whatever. I like to use one of these. I don't know if you can actually see anything or not. All right, let's take a look at this bad boy. That up. Of course, the next one we got is another 18. Yes, lots of diesel coming out. Very exciting. I'm sure you have like 20 washers and nuts and all that underneath and above that I can't see. Oh God. Okay. Please cooperate. Please. Thank you. Okay, what do we got? That can probably be removed. Oh. Here we go. Don't lose that. Yay. You can go there. I guess you can come out. I might just put a bag over this, like this. You have like a rubber O-ring on you. Hopefully it'll just stay welded in place. Let's just hope for that. You might have to take these throttle linkages off. Just kind of whack. So looks like some bolts down in here, some stuff in here. Alrighty. Throw a 12 on here. Oh, probably need a universal for that, of course. Oh God. Let's see if we can cheat. Maybe a mini weeble wobble here. Mini wobbler. Mini wobbler, please. I need the ratchet to work. That'd be great. That's tightening. That's loosening. All right, don't rip my hand. Oh God. Okay. Yay. As you can hear, the windstorm is windstorming. Please. All right. Okay. These the same. Yes. These are green. We're gonna call these. Are you ready to? No. Something's attached to you. Something is zip tied to you. Okay. That's good. That's what we like to see. Something terrible. I'm gonna have to mess with that for a while to try to get that out right in here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Alright, I guess I'll be back when I get that out. Alright, so where are we at? I unbolted this. I can't get that clip out. This was like 9 pounds to squeeze this down to pop this off, so that's popped off. I cannot get this connector off. This connector is the one for this. That does need to come off. I'll have to mess with that maybe later. This black box has to come off to get to the mounts. I don't have a pair of pliers, so what I'm doing is I'm using 2 hands. I'm squeezing with this and then rolling it up. Because I can't squeeze this with my hands. This is super tough. Okay, see what I'm doing? Squeezing and rolling at the same time. I need both hands to do that. I'm holding the camera right now. All right, that's one breather. Second breather. I think these are just breathers for like the transmission, and this goes to like cyberspace. I don't understand what this does. All right, we have one other breather down here. Hopefully you can see that. He's easy. He's got rubber things on him. It's making me eat my words by saying it's easy. Right. Make me regret my decision. Alright, there we go. Now, I believe this black box can be removed. So we'll come back when we get this. Okay. This was here. Pulled this out. That bolt was 4,000 pounds. I had to break the breaker bar out. Tube on bottom. Easy to get off. It's got squeezies. Very, very hard. Maybe you probably need pliers to peek those off and then slip those off. It looks like I didn't have to slip that off, so I probably didn't need to unbolt this, but I'm not too sure. I'm taking any room where I can get it. This, of course, is like welded together, because God forbid I could just squeeze that. I already broke my nail trying to do that, so I'm probably gonna have to get 2 little flatheads, ply that apart. Next thing we can do is these one little vacuum. We just have to remember that the left one is the upper. Thank you for not disintegrating. Lower. Some type of breather thing, don't know. We also have what looks like an oil line. That'll be exciting to get off, because that looks like it goes down, and it looks like it goes to that oil filter down there. I believe that's the oil filter. So yeah, I don't know where the oil in is. Looks like there's only the oil out, so I'm not entirely sure what type of magic is going on there. But I think we are now ready to start removal of the actual pump. That should be exciting. I know there's some magical bracket that lives down there. We'll try to get a close up of that later. Whole bunch of bolt in there. Looks like another bolt down in there somewhere. I think there's a few on the bottom as well. I think down in there. Alright, so we're on the chest cam now, which is kind of interesting. How's that look? Oh yeah, not too bad. Okay. So we're gonna take off this handy dandy bracket right in here. I'm sure you can't actually see anything with my hands in the way. You just have to trust me. Okay. That's one. That's 2. Okay. Bag these boys up. And we'll take off the oil return line. These were 12s, by the way. Okay, we got our 12. We're gonna go in here. Try to get this terrible bolt off. Consider that a success. I believe there's going to be oil in here. It's hard to say for sure, because just God only knows. Maybe not, I don't know. No? Any O-rings? No? You're teasing me. No O-rings? Alright. There might just be another diesel passage, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Okay, that should be compressed enough. Thank you. What ungodly thing will come out of you? Just 9 pounds of coolant. What do we got? Nothing? Amazing. Thank God. Maybe it's some type of breather. Alright, the next thing, we're gonna have to try to find a bracket down there to get the pump out. God only knows where that lives. We may have to use the inspection camera to find where the bracket lives. Alright, I'm gonna say that that's our bracket. Right there. That's got to be the front bracket on the pump. You see where the camera's looking? It's right in there. It's just, we just can't physically get in there. So I'm gonna have to basically use this camera and get some sockets in there and figure it out. And when we get it out, we'll probably show it on camera. It's just impossible to get in there, unfortunately. Alright, so we got the wrench on there with like a wobble, which is right about here. Of course, I cannot get that bolt to turn. Oh my God. Well, either something broke or that was it. Oh, I must have cut myself good. My left arm is burning. I think I got it though. I'm gonna trust that it's coming out. Can't get it in my hand. Really? You ready to come out? No? No? Okay. Alright, you guys are ready to come out now. Amazing. Yay. Alright, we're gonna need to get the other bolt. Oh, that's gone forever. Anyway, let's see. We're a little upside down, but you'll have to trust. That's that. And then to get the other piece of the bracket is this nut right there. Don't know how fun that'll be to get out. Once we get it set up for that, I guess we'll take you along for that one. Alright, so it's a small update. We got the 17. It's a 17 for there. Basically, you have to snake this in there. Get this on. You only get like this much room. And then I had to basically put both hands under the wrench and pull up in order to get that. So both hands under the wrench, pull up to get that one. And that was on there. That was definitely on there pretty good. Let's lose the wrench before we lose the wrench in the engine. I already have one 14 crow's foot that's lost in there.
we'll find that eventually. Luckily, we're taking it apart, so the more that comes out, should be finding more. I know you probably can't see much from here, but there's not much to see. All right, got the nut and the bracket. There we go. Look at that. That's our front bracket. Nut was here, bolt was through there. Bag and tag this, and go look for the next problem. All right, so we got that off. We're gonna now look for our next bolts. Bolt right there. Hopefully you can see that. Oh, hold on, right there. That, which is about right down in there. I'm assuming that that's our next bolt. So we're gonna probably have to go at them with a wrench, because there ain't no way in hell you're getting a socket in there. Maybe it's an ungodly amount of, yeah, you could do it if you're a psychopath with the right amount of extensions and wobbles, which we have a lot, but we'll try to cheese it first with a wrench. Try the easiest solution first. All right, so basically with our 14, you get it in there. Very, very difficult. And a lot of times you barely get it, and then I had to put my whole body weight forcing it, just ever so gently. And then it finally broke loose after like 2-3 turns. So we'll see how that looks. Let me get it out. Okay. That's our nut. And the threads are in there. You can see that. Alright. Alright, now according to the internet, the next few steps, you're supposed to remove the heater hose pipe, which I really don't want to do. And this in here, the lower radiator hose, all that stuff, I really want to try to avoid that, as well as the AC tensioner. We may have to remove this one. I don't think there's a way around that one, but I want to see if there's a way to snake this out without removing these. So we'll hold off on that, and we'll try to focus on the bolts, get this thing loose, and see what we could snake out, or if that really has to come out. If it has to come out, it is what it is. Alright, I'm sure it's that ungodly bolt, which is all the way, I don't know if you can see it, but it's down in there. So there's that one, and it looks like that one there, and maybe that upper one up there as well. So I believe they're 14s. We're gonna need a long extension and some wobbles and a lot of luck from God. So we'll see, because those are also probably like 9,000 pounds tight. So you'll just have to trust me. There's like 19 extensions together, and they're like wiggle extensions, and that gets us to about there. So we might need like 19 more extensions to get a ratchet on there, and we're gonna just hope that we can break that loose. All right, I guess I'll take you along for this one, because it's gonna be a little bit of an act of God. So I tried it with an extension, and I'm like bending the ratchets, so hopefully, come on, we can get you. All right. Of course, there's 9 slop. Oh boy, this is amazing. Do you see how much slop? Not even turning anything. All right, well, I guess that's not gonna work. All right, so we got it out. This is what was required, just so you know. This is a breaker bar, and then there's so much slack in this, and then I had to put basically my whole body weight into this, and I got myself pretty good here. Well, yeah. So you need adapter for the big boy, Extension, extension, extension. Wiggle, wiggle, and wiggle. Yay. You need that much wiggle. Could have probably get away with a universal in the middle somewhere, if you know, if you want to do it that way. But yeah. And there's the nut. Yay. Now we gotta go get those other ones. Of course, some people may ask, why am I not wearing gloves? The gloves I have actually are really good. The problem is it's like 100 degrees and they fill up with sweat. And then my hands get super pruned and like slippery, and then if anything like slips, it just cuts my skin. So it's a trade-off possible to reach. 14 bottom pump bolt or pump nut. Okay. That bad boy right there. It looks like there's another big ass bolt right there. So I'm assuming take off that 14. I don't know if that's a 14. That looks bigger than a 14. Let's get that lower 14 first. And then the only nice thing is it looks like we are able to grab it from out here. So I don't know if we'll need the 48 extensions again. Hopefully not. So what did we do? We got a 14 shorty on a wrench. I could not turn it. I got a 19 hooked up to the back end. And there we go. Do one of those. Unless you got a really long ratchet, maybe you'll be able to get away with it. You need a really long one though, because that's a standard size and it's not even at the frame rail. Once again, just put that on the back end there. Do that. Give yourself that extra leverage. And yeah, we'll get that nut out of there in a second. Or that bolt rather. Alright, so that took way too long. I needed a whole bunch of this action going on to get this bolt out, which is like got covered in God knows what. So yeah, that's what was needed to get that bolt out. And then I think we're up to this one. Not too sure if that one's got a nut on the back of it. We'll have to take a look. I'll let you know. This one was, in fact, another 14. So we'll bag and tag this one. This is the front bolt, front lower bolt. Alrighty, so our next thing here is you got a bolt right there. That's a 17. The nut right there, 17. We'll put a little extension. See if we can get that out. Try to tackle the nut side here. Of course, this extension is probably too long. Of course it is. Good God. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm gonna get a shorty and then we'll have to put the wrench on it. Alright, we got our shorty, our wrench. Okay. Yay. Oh yeah, of course, so the bolt is turning, so we'll just find our 17, wedge that in there. Hopefully it's not as tight as what I thought it was to break it loose. We'll see. So we got our wrench on there. You know how this is going to go. Just do this for 20 minutes. It's fine. All right. Of course, I can't physically fit my hand in there, which is a joyful thing. Let's see if we can just do that by hand. Are we powered by the Hulk here? We are. Uh-oh. Oh, I was about to say. It was turning, and I was holding the tail end of the bolt, and I was spinning the front end of the bolt, which means the bolt is not connected anymore. Yay. All right, sure. Brand new. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Reminder to label everything. Big front bolt. We'll say top-ish. Whatever. We'll watch the video back. It's fine. But that, I don't know if you can see it on video. It's got to be that bolt right there, holding us up. All right, so this was also like a bajillion pounds. I had to put both arms and go like that, and I was like tippy-toeing. I was basically like using my entire body to pop that open here. Just, anyway, we got that. We'll do this again for like 20 minutes. Oh, sweet. Try not to drop the ratchet. Can we do that by hand? No. Maybe the Hulk. Not me. So, we'll just do this ridiculous thing that we do. Why can't I get my hand anywhere? Of course, we're going to run out of ratchet space really soon because if you look, I've only got a little bit more space. I almost can't even get it off. I actually can't get it off. Yay! Alright. Hopefully we'll be able to get it off with open end or something. We'll see what we can do here. We'll fall back when get the bolt out. Actually, I'm getting it out by hand. Of course, there's not much to see. Okay, so the bolt is out, but oh, all right, that kind of worked. It would not come out. Oh God! All right, I think we're ready to try to get the pump out. Are you loose? Oh, you are. You are loose. Amazing. Probably gonna have to lose this heater hose. Really sad. I will try to get this out and we'll see what happens. Probably gonna have to pull this. I don't know if we can snake it out. We'll try to snake it out. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, so I pulled this off a decent amount, and then I did end up hitting this. I don't think there's a way to snake it out of there, and this might have to come off as well, so it is what it is. Sucks, but I don't know. We'll try to take this off, hopefully not lose too much coolant. We do have our can down there. Hopefully we can just take this off, snake it out. I pulled it out till I seen the gear, and when I seen the gear is when I was hitting this. Hopefully we can finagle it. I really don't want to remove this lower radiator hose and this other hose, you know, but we'll see. Alrighty. Sad news is we do have to remove this dingus in here. Oh God. Yep, that's gonna start leaking coolant immediately. Luckily it's going into the catch can. Hopefully it's not a lot of coolant that comes out. All going into the can. I need the wind to cooperate though. I'm gonna get under there and make sure it's a little bit better because it's barely dripping in there. Alright, so we got this hose off. Of course, just 900 gallons of coolant wanted to come out. Got this kind of just wedged up here just to stop the flow. The water line's at about there. Hopefully I won't have to open these, because if I open these the rest of the coolant's going to go. It's probably already 2-3 gallons in there. Probably just going to have to pull this. I don't think we'll be able to snake this out just looking at the size of the pump without pulling this. And I'd rather pull this than lose another 10 gallons of coolant. It's a little ridiculous. So I think our next move is going to be relieving these. These just kind of bend and open up. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Come off. You're not connected to anything. That's fine. Let's get rid of you. Please. Please. Thank you. Please. Thank you. Okay.
You're out for the most part. Okay. I guess we'll go around. These look like 12s or so. I think it's easier to do that. Just pull that, 'cause I really don't want to lose the rest of the coolant. I might have to pull the hoses. I don't know. We'll see. It's 12:12. Almost lunchtime.
All right, when it comes to something a little ridiculous, such as this thing, it's got 400 bolts all over it, and they're probably all different lengths. You should get something like this. And basically, as you take them out, put them in about the same orientation as you get them, so you know which one goes to what. The camera battery is dying, so I'll start taking these out and just start sinking them in, and then we'll come back. Alrighty, let's pull this off. Delicious. Wow, look at the shape of that intake. Good Lord. Interesting, they got little like butterflies. Look at the shape of this one. Oh yeah. Pretty much. Alrighty, let it keep filming. We're running pretty low on the batteries, but we're pretty much at the magical part where, angle this up a bit. Please come out, Jesus. Okay. Oh God, I just dropped something. No idea what I have dropped. What are you stuck on? What are you stuck on? You're stuck on something. Something is stuck. I do not know what you're stuck on. Oh, you're 900 pounds. I don't want to just keep pulling because I don't want to hurt anything. You can totally come out. What's the problem? Oh, are you just 900 pounds? You might just be 900 pounds. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy Jesus. Okay. Why are you so heavy? Good Lord. I can't free myself. Alright, just get to the tire. Okay. Why are you so heavy? Oh my God. You do not look that you're that heavy. I don't understand. I swear the little Bangladesh kid was throwing this thing around like it weighed nothing. Good props to him. He be working out. Well, here's the pump. Yay. My God. Oh yeah, if we look at the mark, it's about lined up on that, spun it off, it changed quite a bit. So hopefully we're still all right. We're about there, 13. So if you notice, it almost passed it. And then when you put it in, it went to 8, so. All right. We'll let this thing chill. Wow, do you hear that? I don't really know which way this thing's supposed to turn, but. God, it's also very, very sharp.
All right. Cool.
Pump is out. Let's go find out what the hell we dropped inside the pan, because we're gonna need that back. We've got the pump out. My 14 that I dropped is actually in there. Good luck. That's gonna get out. Lower radiator hose is still on. Still on. So I'll take that any day of the week to save 5 gallons of coolant. We still need to figure out what the hell I dropped inside the fish this out of here.
You guys can watch me struggle. People are into this kind of.
Okay, good luck. I know it's in there. I'm touching it. I feels it. Can you just come out the bottom? Of course not. No. It's a one-way gate. If we spin it around a bunch, can you magically come out? Probably not. Might have like a tiny magnet to it or something. It's really just amazing. You cannot get your hand in anywhere in this truck. Really, really amazing. Yeah, no. I'll be digging at this for like hours. Ah, there we go. Okay. Still no idea what the hell we dropped in there.